Hello everybody and welcome to our latest episode. My name is Glenn and this is Vampi right here. And today we're going to be talking about disturbing movies. The really sort of, the horror movies that really kind of maybe push things a bit too far and definitely get a reaction from people.
Yeah, definitely.
What are your thoughts on disturbing movies? Do you think that horror movies should have limitations? Do you think they should be able to do whatever they want to do?
No, definitely not. I think as horror fans, we love to see things that are shocking and, maybe we're too desensitized and we need to see more shocking things in order to get that thrill. And
it
that
just keeps escalating because something's like, oh, you should make a movie about that. They do. Then we get over that. It's like, you should make a movie about that. And we do anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, we're going to talk about today, like, films that are hard to watch, films that you probably don't want to watch with your parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Banned in Queensland sort of stuff, really. Well, if not beyond that.
Yeah. So, the sorts of films we're talking about today.
If you had to choose one movie that's as soon as someone says most disturbing sort of films,
there's probably about a top 3 to 5 that are on the top of every list. And we'll get into that and talk about them a bit more. Some honourable mentions are Human Centipede, Antichrist, The Green Inferno, Dead Girl.
Well, if someone says to me most disturbing film, there's usually one film that comes to mind for me.
What's that?
Irreversible.
Irreversible?
For some whatever, I don't know why. It's the one that's like one of the first ones that I saw that everyone talked about, and everyone was saying that this is
yucky.
Really full on. It's gonna sort of mess with you a little bit. I think I watched it with a friend, and he was quite disturbed by it. We had to watch some Simpsons afterwards to sort of settle the tone.
I actually really like this film. I guess I Spit on Your Grave's obviously up there with rape revenge films as well.
Yeah,
the famous 1 hour rape scene in the original, as well as Last House on the Left. There's heaps of them. But yeah, Irreversible is, I guess, a different take on that if you haven't already seen it. As the name sort of explains, it is a rape revenge film, but it's shot in reverse.
Kind of like Memento, so you're sort of seeing...
It's very clever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I knew about it for a long time, and I knew the concept of it, and for a long time that kind of stopped me watching it because I thought, well, I already know what's going to happen. There's going to be a rape scene, there's going to be this, there's going to be that. Why would I want to watch that in reverse?
Yeah.
But it's still very powerful. Like, it still packs a punch. Even after the rape scene, there's things in there that are quite shocking. So, before.
The gay nightclub scene at the start?
Yeah, the first scene.
Full on.
I think that scene is probably more like I think it's more hard to watch than the rape scene even.
I guess so.
Or more brutal. It's more brutal than the rape scene.
It's definitely is it the opening scene I think, or the second scene or something? It's straight into it pretty much.
Really, yeah. Like the first 5 minutes of the film, you're kind of like, what's happening? What am I watching? I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
It's very like crazy. But yeah, once you get past that and you sort of go, and so many times during that film where I was like, and then this, and then, and then that happens.
Constantly, you're trying to, every boring scene, you're trying to piece together, okay, this happened before this happened.
Yeah,
Constantly.
There is going to be spoiler alerts in this episode as well. So the first scene that we're talking about in Irreversible, a man gets his head smashed in with a fire extinguisher. Yeah, that's right. And it's very brutal, very realistic. Lots
of mayhem and sex stuff going on in this club.
There's a lot of penis in that first scene.
And there's a lot of like momentum in that scene too. Like he's running from room to room. He's trying just his build up.
Very erratic and confused, and
it's definitely like what
you're like. You're kind of like, what have I signed up for? Because most films don't start at a 10.
Like that. Yeah.
And this film starts at like an 11, and you're like, where's it going to go from here? Like, is it just going to be boring? But it's not. I guess you invest in the characters that way. So
the only other film that's come close to that level, I guess, of is it notoriety? Is that the right word? Is a Serbian film. What are your thoughts?
I love Serbian film.
You like it? Yeah.
Love it. Everyone, I'm like, you should watch this film. They're like, what's it about? And I'm like, well, look, this is what it's about. And they just give me like that glazed over look. And I'm like, but just trust me, watch it. It was actually his first feature film. Okay. The guy who directed that, which I think that in itself is amazing because I loved every part of it.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's about a husband, father named Milos, and he is a retired porn star, and his family in need for some money. Actually, he's a cock artist. Yeah, that's what he calls. He's like, Milos, you cock artist, which is a cool name. Anyway, so his wife's like, I need you to get back into this and make some money, and he sort of signs up to do what is explained to him as artsy films.
Yeah, that's right.
End up to have super strong undertones of like snuff films and
that's right.
Rape and murder, and
just progressively gets worse and worse and worse.
Yeah. Should we just get the elephant out of the room and talk about the scene that makes this in the top?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it right near the end, I think?
No, it's not.
No.
It's like,
I thought it was like
maybe like 2/3.
Okay.
So there is a scene that, I mean, I don't even know really how to say it, but there's a baby rape scene.
Apparently, yeah. And like just born, wasn't it? Is
yeah,
that the thing? Like it's just
straight out of the mother, and then it gets fucked. With the catchy phrase of an innovative new style of porn called newborn porn.
Is that actually what they say in it?
Yeah. Like he's like all excited, like no one's ever thought of this before, and it's like, yeah, that's because it's fucked
like, is
up.
there some like businessman that organises it or something? Is that what?
Yeah, but
doesn't he show the guy a scene of it happening?
Yes,
and then he wants him to do it? Is that what it is?
And he's like,
so he doesn't do it.
And he's like, I don't want to do this. And he's like, well, I'll murder your kids and your kid and your wife. And a lot of people thought this film was made purely for shock value of like, okay, they're just trying to make a film that's disgusting and makes people feel repulsed and everything like that. But I kind of like saw beyond that and just saw it as like a nice, not nice, but like, you know, just a dad that's like trying to support his family and get through life and be the best father and husband that he can be. You know what I mean?
It's like a thriller sort of type.
Yeah, you sort of feel sorry for him because he gets himself mixed up in this world, and you know, they're threatening the life of his wife, and they drug him and
I actually forgot all about.
lead him into doing things that he wouldn't do if he wasn't under the influence. And I actually think the end scene is more disturbing than the baby rape scene.
Well, I kind of remember the end.
So you say baby rape and people are just like, yeah, no, that's fucked. But if you actually watch it, it's not that bad because the baby does look very fake, I think.
Yeah.
Or just fake enough for you not to feel disgusting.
They're watching it happen on a screen or something like that, and it's all sort of blurred. You sort of see what's going on, but you don't.
Yeah. So if that's what's turning off from watching this film, don't worry about it. They didn't actually do it. But the end scene, there's like a weird sexual tension between him and his brother, and his wife. His brother's sort of like a police officer who feels inferior to Milos because he's like a porn star and he has erectile dysfunction. It's like this whole thing. You have to watch it. But yeah, basically at the end, you can do anything. You can make anything you believe in. There's an end scene where Milos is very like super high on some sort of drug that makes him like really aggressive, and they're filming and he sort of just doesn't really know what's happening, and he's fucking something that's under a blanket, and then he turns and his brother's next to him fucking something under a blanket, and he's kind of like,
I remember this,
in this drug filled like state, and he's like looking at his brother and he's like, what are you doing, and then the guy who's directing it, the guy who like plans all of this, pulls the sheet back, and his brother is fucking his wife and he's fucking his own son. And for me, stop laughing.
It's just so messed up. Like who?
It is.
Writing this, okay, so it's a great idea for a script. This is going to happen. Like,
yeah, I don't know how we got such good actors and everything. Like, do you know how many people he would have sent that to, and they would have been like, nope, no, that is a career killer.
Why is it called a Serbian film? Are they trying to say that this is just
set in Serbia?
Set in Serbia. They must have had other titles for it. They couldn't have called it the obvious. I guess.
Think they kind of gave it like the least fucked up name.
It's pretty messed up.
They could have, but anyway.
Actually, maybe is it worse? Is it worse than Irreversible? Then, like, I don't know. Like, what? Irreversible felt like it was more shock about. Like, it felt like it was riding you, punch in the face. Yeah. But now I think about it, maybe.
I feel like they all have bits that are like disturbing and make you feel a bit ooh, and then they all have bits that it just depends what you find disturbing. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't really like kids that much, so it didn't bother me too much. If it was an animal, on the other hand, I probably would have switched it off.
Yeah, okay.
So
yeah.
I think it just it depends where you're coming from. But Serbian film, the version you and I watched, even though it's absolutely brutal, it was banned in like over 30 countries.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Still.
Hang on, let me get my notes out. It was banned in Spain, Germany, Australia, New Zealand, Malaysia, Singapore, Norway, South Korea, and Brazil for a period of time.
Wow. But Irreversible had like wide release.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's interesting. It's the kid thing, I guess. That's the
I think
issue,
that's what it is. Yeah.
I don't know if it was banned. Okay, wow.
So
there's a few movies that have been banned over the years, isn't there? There's a whole list
so
of,
should we move along to Cannibal Holocaust?
Yeah.
Watch it, Alan. I'm shooting. Oh, good Lord.
That's probably the most famous.
That was banned too, I think. Well, no, didn't the director go to court?
He got arrested, actually.
Yeah, because they were convinced that it was all real. Yeah. And he's like, nah,
so
it's all just fake.
If you guys haven't seen that, it's about, I guess, like a documentary crew that go to like an Amazonian forest. Is that right?
Yeah, and they... all this shit.
It's like a cannibal tribe that they're like documenting, and then they get wound up in it and essentially get killed. But I think some of them deserved it.
But there's really sort of full on like nudity and impaling and death scenes and stuff. And there's the real animals get killed in it, don't they? Isn't it? Like they're hunting and stuff.
Seven real animals were killed on screen, which is why I refuse to watch it.
Yeah.
They ban such weird things as well. Like I've heard of films being banned that are really like there's nothing like I don't think anything's wrong with them.
Yeah.
To be honest, but yeah, with Cannibal Holocaust, basically the scene in question that was one of like there's rape scene and cannibal scenes and all sorts of things.
With the, thing
yeah, so essentially like Vlad the Impaler style, she's completely naked and she gets put on a giant spike vagina first, and it comes out her mouth, and it is very realistic looking, especially for the 1980s. It was in 1980 it came out, and back then it was just they didn't realize that there were like practical effects and things like that. So, but the director was actually really smart as well. He made all of his actors sign release things to say after they shot that film, they weren't allowed to do any film or television for a whole year.
Really? Okay.
So they were sort of in hiding, which just fueled it. So when it came out, people back then, they were like, there's no way they could have shot this without actually killing that girl.
Right.
Or killing these people. And the fact that none of the actresses or actors surfaced after that as well just led to it, which now we know is just like a good marketing ploy. And it went through the courts, and he actually had to bring the actress in and show live, like that he had to show it in the courtroom to the jury. This is how we did it.
Wow. Okay.
No, they did not actually get killed.
Is that amazing? Because the style of it too was that whole sort of documentary / Blair Witch look, I guess. So it
again.
Yeah, just dropping it in.
In case you hadn't realised, Blair Witch is one of Glenn's favourite films.
It's the tops.
So that one we definitely have in our top.
Yeah.
I think that's one like that and Serbian film. When everyone says, "Oh, what's the most fucked up film?" There's those two, and the third would have to be Salo.
And what are Faces of Death? Have you seen Faces of Death? No. It's like Faces of Death was like this series of like they were trying to sell it as like real deaths on camera, but they were almost all of them fake, I think. But there's like a bear attack scene. It's all edited and it's all like. But the idea is that it was trying to sell it as being this real stuff. I've seen 2 of them, I think. They're very famous for.
I'll have to check it out.
Faces of Death. I think there's like 5 of them, 4 of them. But some they're crazy. They look, a lot of them look real.
They look real?
They look same sort of thing as Cannibal Holocaust.
Some films, like especially like there's been a few Asian films that I've watched in my time, and I'm like,
they've been killing those people.
That looks really real.
Yeah. It's I think it's I guess that I'm sure there's films that do exist where people have actually.
Oh yeah,
there's been
of
movies
course.
where people have died on set, but never on camera.
Oh, I mean, it depends where you're looking, Glenn.
Well, no, like proper movies. I'm like obviously there's.
We're not talking about the dark web here.
No, there's videos of but movies like like.
Yeah, we can't do this list without bringing up Salo or 120 Days of Sodom. It was based loosely on a novel.
I have not seen this, but I know of this.
Marky decide, yeah. So it is hard to watch. I think it's probably at the top. Like, I found it more disturbing to watch than Serbian film, in the sense that it's more realistic.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, it's one of those films you watch and you're like, oh, I don't know if there's consent here or not, or they're just really good at acting.
Oh.
So essentially, 18 teens get kidnapped by like these rich people. They're in like this beautiful castle. Like, as far as like a film that's filled with like, you know, scat, rape, murder, sodomy, like torture, it's actually quite a beautiful film.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's quite a few scenes in that have been quite controversial as well as the whole film. Like, the whole concept of it's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
But there is one scene in particular that sticks with me. All they're all naked and being whipped and tortured and raped and throughout the whole film. But there's one scene in particular where a girl's on all fours, like in a dog collar, and they're like whipping her, and then they force her to eat dog food that's filled with nails.
Oh.
And she's like coughing up blood, and it's shot very realistically.
Yeah. Okay.
That scene always stuck with me. There's also the circle of shit.
What's this
Which
movie
we
called
probably
again?
don't need to go into.
Called again? It's just
Salo.
Salo.
You never seen it?
I know of it. I don't think I've seen it though. I know.
It came out in like 1975 as well, so it was like extra shocking at the time.
Oh,
yeah.
Geez, okay.
Yeah. So it's just like a lot of torture, really.
Is there a story or there's
torture? Yeah.
Somewhere.
Loosely.
Okay.
I
know. I've seen the cover. And is this banned as well, or what's the?
Yeah, this one got banned. A lot.
A lot.
A lot of banning happened.
I used to joke with my friends. Someone's going to make a movie one day that actually gets banned from the earth. Like, they have to actually like eject it off the planet and just say this is not on here anymore.
We're not having it.
There's no way to see this anymore. That would be kind of funny.
Well, it's not. It's these ones obviously made it through. What about Martyrs?
No, I haven't seen it.
So Martyrs is like it's a very gory film. And like we were saying before, it starts at a 10.
Yeah.
And you think, all right, now where's it going to go? First couple of scenes, you're like, oh, holy shit, this is really full on.
Yeah.
And then it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. And then the famous scene at the end where the lady is flayed. Super gross and weird.
Okay.
It's like a cult vibes. You're like,
yeah.
There's lots of things that make you question it, and then when you realise what's actually happening, it's more fucked up than anything you thought was actually happening.
I want to see some of these movies. So, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that one, it's usually in like the top 10 for, you know, most disturbing films. A lot of people probably don't think it's any worse than the last couple that we just spoke about. But for me, Martyrs was just real full on. It's one of those ones you probably only need to watch once or twice. It's not something that you just check on when you want to relax. It's like,
yeah.
Oh, strap yourself in. It's like, it's full on.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but I enjoyed it.
I think you've spoken about that a few times. I'd probably watch that. I'd like to see that.
It's that French-Canadian
But I'm
one.
Interested in this Solo?
Yeah, wait till your kids go to bed. Maybe don't watch it with your wife either.
Wait till your kids are like 28. That is true. So yeah, thanks for hanging around, guys. And yeah, write in the comments below what you think is the most disturbing film of all time. I've got a few choices myself, but I'd love to hear what you guys think, obviously. And we'll see you guys next time. What's going on? What's this? What's up? What's up? What's up? Oh. What's up? Hey, what's up? What's up?
Make sure you guys subscribe to the Vampi Show channel, and we'll see you next week.